I just realized there's like, I don't like, do you see this gap? There's like a gap now right here. So because I heard that the movie is coming out, has come out. I don't know if it came out already, but the series, well, not the series, the trilogy that I will be talking about today is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Well, first of all, I wanted to review these books because, like I said, movie has come out, will be coming out soon, and I wanted to be able to talk about the book before people start talking about the movie, because we all know that the book is always better than the movie. The titles of all three books are To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever, Lara Jean. People always say, never judge a book by its cover. Well, that's literally all I do. I don't know if other book nerds do this, but this is me entirely. I will literally choose a book based off of its cover. So I will show an image of the cover here. I really liked the way that this cover looked. A lot of people asked me, like, while I was reading it, if I had written on the book, because the title is just so, like, it looks like someone penned it on, and that's really cool to me. Also, I feel like it has like a Tumblr look to it. I don't know, it just, you know what I mean, right? Overall, really loved the cover, and that's why I kind of ended up choosing to read this trilogy. So the main summary that starts this trilogy, starting with the main character named Lara Jean. She goes and writes love letters to people that she wants to get over. So she will write these letters, and basically she writes as if she's actually talking to them and about to send it off, but really she just seals it away, and she has like the addresses on it and everything, and I'm like, wow, she really like she really gets into thinking that of the idea that she is sending off these letters to people. And as you would expect, something awful is going to happen. What happens is that these letters get sent out, and trouble ensues. All of these love letters go out to the people that she wrote to, and it is absolutely wow. It's really like, if you put yourself into her shoes, it really makes you cringe a little bit. So about the author Jenny Han, she has written other books. The other trilogy that she wrote is The Summer I Turned Pretty. I've never that one is also a trilogy. I've never read that one, but I have heard a lot of good things about it, so I suggest checking it out. Maybe I'll read it in the future, because Jenny Han is I loved her writing style, but I will get into that later. Personally, it's really easy to read. I don't think it's like difficult to read, because it's kind of phrased in the style of like a teenage girl, so you could easily like read it. It's pretty relatable. It's like a teenager's talking and telling a story. It's also easily, like, you could easily put yourself into her shoes and kind of hear things her way, just because of the way that the writer makes her voice sound. The way that I think of it is kind of like an artsy kind of like way that the main character is voiced. It's kind of artsy, it's kind of creative thinking kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's like those typed quotes on Tumblr. Yeah, that's sometimes what Lara Jean sounds like. Things I liked about, I'm gonna say about this whole trilogy in general, like I've been saying throughout this video, I could easily relate to the character, and that was great for me. Not just because I feel like sometimes I can think like Lara Jean, but also because she just was easily relatable. Like, she does things that I'm like, it's cringy, I probably wouldn't do that. If you can actually feel the cringe for the character, that's when you know that you've connected with them. I fell in love with all of the characters. It wasn't just the main character that I really loved. I loved all the characters that were introduced, even the more difficult characters to love Genevieve. There was really good character development. The gradual change over the series, over the trilogy, was really great. I felt like there was an actual change in how the characters became who they were at the end of the third book. And that was really great, because some books can't pull that off. Sometimes they focus too much on something else, and then it becomes really complicated, and then you don't really see a change in the later books. I think this trilogy pulled it off really well. There was nothing I didn't really like, honestly. I can't think of anything bad to say, because I was just so... The emotional journey that you go on is nuts. It is a throw your book at the wall kind of trilogy, so what that means is like literally I'm sure you understand what that means. The second book, for sure, will make you want to throw your book at a wall. Seriously, I had so many moments like that where I was just so overwhelmed by everything that was going on. It's something that'll just make like your emotions go nuts. And the ships in this book are great. I mean, me and my friend, we started our own fandom for this book, man. We have our, I don't want to say anything, you know, to ruin it for anyone, so I won't say the fandom name that we came up with. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I will I will put what we call our OTP down in the description below. Before you see the movie or the Netflix series or whatever it's becoming, I highly suggest reading it first. Seriously, I'm always gonna say this, if I make other book reviews about books that are like, you know, they could be turned into a movie, read the book first. The book is always much better. Seriously, other book nerds will agree with me. The book is always better, unless there is a movie that actually does replicate the book pretty well. I heard Harry Potter did pretty well with that. I don't know. I've read a lot of trilogies, but this is the best one that I've read that's romance and like in school, and there isn't like action and adventure alongside, because I've read a lot of trilogies where it's like that, where there's like fighting and stuff, but this one wasn't fighting. There was just, it's like high school romance kind of thing, and this is one of the best ones I've ever read. I suggest this book for, I think the intention is for teenage girls. I mean, guys can read it too. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like it's more for teenage girls, especially if you are going through high school right now. I highly suggest reading it because the way that the book gradually goes over time, I think it starts in sophomore year for them. I think it starts in sophomore year, and it goes all the way until where Lara Jean is deciding on college. So that would be really great if you could follow the gradual change. But knowing book nerds, you probably can't hold out on reading books until your junior year and then your senior year. Like, that doesn't work. You just read the whole trilogy all at once, because that's what I did. Just book nerd things. My rating is 5 stars with a bonus of I wanted to throw my book at a wall kind of rating. Seriously, I really suggest reading this series. I keep saying series, I mean trilogy. You guys know what I mean. If you like romance in high school kind of scenarios and no action, then this is a really great book, especially if you're kind of like a creative artsy thinker kind of thing and kind of like Tumblr stuff. I feel like this would be a really great book for you. Highly suggest reading all 3. Personally, here's a little tip about this trilogy, is the fact that I feel like you could end it on the second book and you don't have to read the third one. I highly suggest reading the third one because the third one was about like college stuff. The third one, you don't need to read it. I mean, but that's just me. You could read up to the second book and I think you'd still be fine. Like, you wouldn't be missing anything super major. But the third one is more focused on like moving and shifting into college kind of stuff, and that was really interesting. Even though when I was reading this, I wasn't, actually I was doing college stuff, so this kind of helped to see the college process and stuff. Absolutely crazy, but definitely suggest reading it. This book is very good. All 3 are really good. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I don't know what books I'll be reviewing next, but I swear I will be reviewing more books or talking about something else. I still don't know what I'm doing for my channel. I also did another book review recently, well, not recently. Recently? Yeah. I also did another book review on books that I was forced to read in school, so you can check that out on my channel. And please give this video a thumbs up for books that you want to throw at a wall, because there's so much emotion and so much crazy stuff with your ships and all of that. So that was my Bookishly speaking review. So I'll see you guys in the next one. I still don't know how to end my